dear friends, welcome back again. So happy you popped over again to see what I am up to today. For everyone who is new here, welcome. My name is Janny and I hope you enjoy what you see. And if you do, I hope you take a little bit of inspiration with you. For everyone here who is not subscribed to my channel, of course, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and of course, hit the bell so you will be notified every time I upload new DIYs. Like I always say, enough talking and let's jump into today's inspiration. And you see already, like always, we have the things on our table we need. We have, of course, our tumbler towel block, some paint at your choice, or maybe some spray paint. Of course, my container with everything inside, but the most important is, of course, the wood glue. Of course, the wood glue, you can use hot glue, but I don't recommend it because a lot of DIYs will fall apart if you have a little bit of a hotter climate or maybe colder, and it's always tricky to do. So I am using wood glue, but you can use, of course, any glue you want. And I have some scissors, cutters, brushes, markers, everything I need. Of course, I also have here my saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel to wipe away the glue we don't need. So these are the main pieces for this DIY because we're going to make a home decor piece and we are going to make a plane, an airplane. So I never made a plane before, so we will see how this will turn out. I take you along in the journey, and if it doesn't work, you won't see this DIY. Of course, I hope it does. And like I said, it will be a decor piece. So I hope you take out your tumbler towel blocks too again and do this together with me. So we are going to start with the feet of the stand with the plane will be on top. So at least in my head. So we are going to glue two blocks together on the tops. So on the shorter tops you do some glue, place it together, squeeze it. We're going to get another two on the top and we glue also these two together. We're going to get another one. In totally we need 4 pieces of 2 for the first side of the bottom and the last of 2, of course, over here. And we're going to squeeze it and we are going to wipe away the glue we don't need because or else you get a lot of stains on your piece. So again, we give this a couple of minutes. So in the meantime, while these 4 are drying, we are going to get 6 blocks. So like this, we're going to glue the longest side, but the smaller side. So this is 1. And immediately place the blocks against the other one. So the glue does not run down too much at least. And number 5 and number 6 is the closure up. You're going to squeeze it, press it together this way. Of course, like I always say, if you use a metal hook for doing it straight is also fine too. But I'm just a stubborn old lady. I'm always doing it this way. But this is something I just got used to. So, but you can use a metal hook if you have it laying around. I make a set of 6 blocks again. And number 5 and number 6 is the closure up again. Squeeze them together this way. And we're going to wipe away the glue we don't need. Over here the same. And again, feel with your fingers. And then you can make an easy straight line. You don't need the metal hook, at least a lot of us don't. And I don't either because I just always do it this way already for years and years. And of course, I know it's much easier to do it with a metal hook. So I'm just someone who just does the DIYs. But of course, I still can learn a lot of things from a lot of you. So I'm going to let this dry in also. So, and I gave it a couple of minutes and I'm going to place it aside. And of course you see already this is fitting nicely together. I'm just going to place it on the side, do some glue over here. And I'm going to place this one against the other one and just give it a little bit of pressure like this. And wipe away the glue you don't need this way. And again, still is a little bit of glue running out. I'm going to place it carefully aside and we're going to let this dry in. I'm going to get my 4 piece and I'm going to do some glue on one of the tops over here. I'm going to place it against this one and we're going to squeeze it. I'm going to do some glue on this one on the top. I'm going to place it against this one over here and this one over here. And if you look carefully, we can close this one really easy in. So we do some glue on the tops and a little on this side. And then we're going to place it in this way. And we're going to work with it until it is totally fitting at our taste. And again, squeeze it, squeeze, feel with your fingers if you have a straight line or not, and wipe away the glue. Just be careful, and we're going to let this dry in at least, I think, maybe 10 minutes. And then we can hopefully we can move it a little bit. So we're going to press and we're going to let this rest. So we have already our square over here, and we have this a little bit out of line for square. A square is most of the time 5 blocks, but I have 6. What I'm going to do some glue on the line on the inside of the square over here, and on the inside over here, and over here. And we're going to place this one on top in the middle. And we're going to give it a little bit of pressure on the sides only. And we're going to turn it around to look for if we have everything where we want to have it before we're going to let this dry in. And this way. And now we're going to place it aside. What we're going to do, we're going to get 3 blocks. And we're going to glue them on the sides. So 1 and number 2 on the longer side. And number 3 is to close you up, squeeze it and place it apart. Again, 3 blocks, glue on the side, over here, and we're going to place them together. And again, 3 blocks, over here, and the second one, and we're going to squeeze it. And the last for this square we are going to make is, of course, the last of 3, at least for this height. And again, squeeze it, and we're going to get our old towel and we're going to wipe away the glue over here. Make a straight line again, feel with your fingers, and we're going to give it some rest. You see really the 4 pieces of the first layer of our stand is over here, but we need 3 layers, so we are going to glue also this couple together. So very easy and fast. Place them together. You just do some glue on the sides, and in totally you will have 12 pieces of 3. I always say with DIYs, some people say, how many boxes do you need? Most of the time I don't know, because I always start my DIY and I have no idea how it will turn out and what I use. So I always say, always keep a package of 3, 4, at least 4 in your stash, so you always have enough blocks, maybe a little more. Sometimes I do a little bit bigger project because these blocks are a little small, so you need, of course, more than you normally would use if I use the bigger ones. So now I have the smaller ones. And a lot of you are really happy with it because you can get the smaller ones much better, but you need a little bit more from them. So of course we're going to wipe away the glue over here like this. And of course we're going to make them in a straight line in a moment, don't worry. And that's the greatest about wood glue. You still can redo it as much as you can. And again, straight line. This one is straight. And this one, and this one. And now we're going to let them rest, all of them, for a half hour. So you see we have now our 12 pieces, and we did give it a couple of, at least a little half hour. We're going to place them aside on the side, and we're just going to go with 4 pieces. What we're going to do, we're going to place them straight up, not this way, but just straight up. We're going to glue some glue on the side, on the longest side, and we're going to place them against each other this way. So squeeze it. We're going to get again in the longest side and place them straight up. We're going to place this one over here and be sure and give it a little pressure. To closing it up, we're going to do some glue on this side and on the inside. So very easy over here and on the tops. And if everything is correctly, you can easily place this one in. Give it a little pressure from the side this way, and you see already you have a nice square. We're going to place this aside, and we're going to do this with all 4 of them. Of course, I don't. What I not must do is, of course, give them a little push, because then they are not square in the square anymore. Again, we're going to place them straight up. We do some glue over here, and don't worry, I'm only doing this one still together with you. And I'm going to do this one, some glue. I'm going to place it over here, and the last one is some glue on the side and on the inside, and we place them straight in over here and give it a little bit of pressure, and we have a square. I'm going to do the other one also. So you see we have now our 3 squares, and you see we have the blocks straight up like this. Very easy. What we're going to do, we're going to place them aside, and we're going to look for which fit is the best. You see already he's a little bit over here. Now you can change him up. You just maybe turn it this way. You can turn it any way you like. Maybe you can place it over here if this fitting better. You see already this doesn't fit better. So we go for this. I'm still going to try this one. I think, yeah, this one is better. So what we're going to do, we are going to get some glue. We are going to do it in the middle line of the block over here, this way. And we're going to do on this one also in the middle line of the block over here. So when everything is running, it runs to the inside. We're going to place them, and we're going to give it a little bit of pressure. And of course, we're going to place it straight up, and we're going to squeeze it. We do here the same. And now we're going to give some pressure on top, and I think I'm going to place a paint can on top of here to give it some pressure over here, so everything glues very nicely together. And now the stand is drying for a little moment before we can saw sideways a little piece of the stand. What we're going to do, we're going to now make the base of our plane. What we're going to do, we're going to make first the middle piece of the plane. We are going to get 3 blocks again, and we're going to do this 4 times. This is already 2, number 3, and number 4. And we do the same. So we're going to get the longest side, and we do some glue on the side, place them together. Also over here, 1, 2, and of course I try to do it as fast as I can. 1, 2, and again place them together. You see already I still miss 2 blocks because we need a square again. And number 3, squeeze them, squeeze it. And here the same, and this one also. We place it over here, and we're going to get again 3 blocks, and again 3, also 3 over here, and 3 over here. We do again another row, and then we are there, what we need. And again, in totally you need again 12 pieces of 3. So very easy, 12 pieces of 3, and then you have the middle part of your plane. And like I said, this is just a home decor plane. It's not a plane which has to look like, of course the shape will be as a plane, but I'm not totally making the plane like they're flying around. So this is just for home decor, and you can even make them, maybe if you have one of your children or grandchildren who loves planes, you also can easily make the plane for them, because it's so much fun to have on your room. And you can maybe spray paint it, you can make it gold, silver, you can do anything with it. So that's the greatest about this one. You can choose anything you like. You can change it up. I just give you a little bit of an example how easy it is just to make it. I'm just doing it out of my head. I really have no idea what I'm doing, but At the end, most of the time, it will work, it will work, but you never know. So I have here my 12 pieces of 3 and we're going to let them dry because we're going to make squares out of them later. But they need a little bit of rest. I'm going to get 4 blocks and we're going to glue them on the longest side also. So this is 1, number 2, and number 3, and number 4 is the closure up, and we're going to make again 1 of 4, and we are going to do, like I said, the longest side. Oh, and this is already number 2 and number 3, and this will be later the wings of our plane. And 4, and this is 1, number 2, and number 3, and we're going to squeeze it, and we're going to let this dry in also, but I'm going to make also for the other wing a piece of wood, because we have of course 2 wings on our plane. So this is the 3 for the first wing, and we're going to get 4 blocks again, and again 4 blocks, this one and another one of 4, like this, and then we also have the blocks for our other wing, for the left and the right, and again squeeze them together. This also, I do it as fast as I can. Of course there are a lot of people who only want to hear how many I will use, but I always do step by step for everyone who enjoys and wants to know how it is really made step by step. So if you really don't like it, of course I hope you do, but if you really don't like this kind of DIYs, oh, I'm sorry, then it is maybe this channel is not for you. Of course I hope you do like it, but I totally understand if you don't like it, because it's not everyone's cup of tea to hear me talking and counting every moment, but I always love to show you how it is done, so you can make it and learn from my mistake and you don't have to make them. So I have now the left wing and the right wing, and we gave this a half-hour drying. So I gave them a little moment to dry. Now we're going to get 3 pieces and we're going to look for how they are fitting the best. And you see already they are fitting nicely. Only this one has a little open space, but if I am doing it this way, he's a little bit less, but of course now you have one over here. So I'm going to try it and get them together, because it is wood glue and you still can redo it. Over here some glue, and we're going to place them this way together, and we're going to squeeze it and try to get them closer to each other like this, and feel with your fingers so you have a nice straight line over here. And now you already have 1 piece, and now we only go for this one, and we're going to look for which is fitting the best. This one is fitting nicely, and this one a little bit, it's better, but of course we're just going to try do some glue on the side, and we do here some glue, of course also on the top side, and we're going to place them down, and we're going to roll them together until 1 piece, just squeeze and feel with your fingers so everything is smoothly around the endings. And now we already have a number 2, and we're going to wipe away the glue we don't need, and we're going to give this at least a couple of hours, because we have to get our jigsaw and we have to make wings out of it. So this needs a long time of drying, same like we have with the middle piece, like this one for the plane, but you see that in a moment. So this we're going to let rest for a couple of hours. Now we're going to make our squares. So now we did give this a couple of at least an hour, I think 15 minutes to a half hour drying. Now we're going to do the same like we did with the stand. We're going to do some glue on the side. We're going to place this one against each other, and we're going to get another piece, and we do the blocks straight up. I mean this way, just straight up. We're going to place this one over here, give it a little bit of pressure, and now we're going to get the close one is on this side, and on the inside, on the smallest side over here, we're going to turn it over, and of course you see already if I would glue it this way, I have the glue on the outside. So that's not really a great idea. So I'm going to wipe this away and do it on the other side. That's better. So you see already, I make the mistakes and you can easily glue it together. So I'm going to glue this one over here. Make sure that you have it in a straight line. This one to the outside, and now we're going to give it some pressure over here. And you see already, now we have a nice little square, the same like we have with the stand. This is already number one. I'm going to do one extra together with you, but you don't. I do number three without the camera. You see already this one over here. And this one will be on top of here. And now the closure up is again some glue on this side and on this side over here, and we're going to place it in, and we're going to give it a little pressure again until it is a square again. So I will do the other one myself, so you don't have to hear me counting it again. Of course, also with this three, we are going to do some glue on the inside over here, and we place this one on top over here this way, and now we already have two on top. Now we're going to do here some glue in the middle and around here, and we're going to place the last one on top, and we're going to give this also some pressure, the same like we did with the other one, which will be a stand. So we press it, and we're going to let this dry at least also for a couple of hours. So if everything is correctly, you have right now the bottom, the stand, and this is belonging to the stand, 1 cube of 3 blocks like this. This is already later we're going to work with it. And of course you have again another one of 3 squares together, and of course 2 of this planks, and this is also 4 blocks, 4, 12 in total, and you have 2 of them because this will be the wings. So we're going to lay this apart. What we're going to do, we're going to make the propeller, at least we call it on the front side for the motor. So we are going to do 3 blocks. So very easy, do 3 blocks, and you do only glue 2, and you squeeze them together like this. Make a straight line, and we're going to wipe away the glue, and again feel with your fingers, and we're going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. In the meantime, while this is drying, we're going to get 2 blocks, and we're going to do some glue on this one, place it together. We have another one, do some glue, and again the last, some glue, and place them also over here. We're going to squeeze it, make sure that we have a straight line again over here, and here the same, and we're going to give this also a couple of minutes. So in the meantime, while our piece of 3 and of course our 3 of 2 are drying, we are going to get the, which will be the wings, and you see already I placed them to each other. Of course later you can even glue them together and then make your wing over here and place it on top of your middle piece of your plane, but you also can do them on the sides. This is just what you like. Of course, I'm going to try to make a kind of a wing over here. So I'm going to make, I think, a little bit like this. And I'm starting with 1, and then I'm going to look for to copy them with the second one. So I think I'm going to go a little bit like this. But of course, make the wings the way you want them to be. And I go over here. And I go a little over here. So for me, they just need a little bit of a round, but you can change them up any way you like. In a moment you see what mine turned out. So I placed my silhouette on top of here. I'm going to go for this one. But I'm going to jigsaw it out with my jigsaw, and everyone who wants to know which brand I have a jigsaw from the Lidl, just how you call it. It's the brand Parkside, and it's the home brand from Lidl. So if you want to use it, it's a very easy and easy to work with jigsaw. So if you want to use it, and he's very cheap. So I'm going to saw this out, and then I'm going to copy it on this one. And see, this is how my first wing turned out. Of course, I'm going to double it on my other side. Of course, make sure that you have it in, how you call it? In the Netherlands, we call it spiegelbeeld. Of course, that you have the other wing on the other side. I'll show you in a moment. So I'm going to go over with my marker, and I'm going to mark this one off also, and I'm going to jigsaw this one also out. And then later, of course, you could turn it over and you place it this way. So you see, now I have my two wings. I just, like I said, I placed them on top of each other, marked it out, and now I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to place them over here. And like I said, I can place them on the sides, of course, like this, but you also can place them against each other. I don't know if I go for this or maybe I do them loose. I still have to debate about it. Of course, what we're going to get our 3 block. We are going to get our 3 pieces, and we're going to glue them this way, and of course this way, and in the middle will be heavy. We call a driehoek. I don't know how you call it in English, this shape. Of course, I have the triangle. Maybe I'm correct in triangle. At least, like we say, a driehoek. So I'm going to glue them on top of here, and of course on here. So very easy. You can do it any way you want to do it. I'm doing some glue over here, some glue on this one, and on this one, so I can glue them in one time. Of course, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some extra blocks to use as a piece for under here. So it's easier to glue. So place it over here. We're going to glue this one, then we're going to go under here. And we place this one over here. Of course, we're going to press a little. And now the last. And we're going to place it over here. And now we're going to give here also a little bit of pressure. And over here, and now we're going to let this dry in. Try to get it in the middle. In the meantime, while our propeller is drying, I'm going to do from, I have a little slice of wood, and I buy them with 100 pieces at the same time on AliExpress, but you can buy them on Temu. You can find them in any craft store. So of course, you also can use a piece of cardboard. If you are not want to spend any money, you can use a piece of cardboard. So I'm going to do a little glue over here, and over here, and I'm going to place this one in the middle and give it a little bit of pressure and also let it dry. So the round is on top of here. Now I have an even smaller one, and I do a drop of wood glue also over here and place this one in the middle of this one. So it gives a little bit like a more decor piece. And again, squeeze it, and we're going to make sure that we have it in the middle, of course. So, and we're going to let this rest. What we're going to do, we're going to get 4 blocks, and we're going to glue 2 blocks. Here's some glue, here's some glue, and we're going to place this one over here, place them on the side, squeeze it, and make a straight line. Also over here, press it together, squeeze it, and then we're going to let this rest also. So I looked it up, and you call it also propeller. So it is the same like we do almost use here in the Netherlands. So I did with 3 pieces, but you can do them with 4, with 2. You have different ones, but I use it just like a home decor piece. So I'm going to lay this apart. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get 3 blocks again, and I'm going to make another little square of 3, because we need on a tail on the top of the plane. So again, squeeze it, press it together, and we're going to let this dry also. So in the meantime, while this block of 3 is drying, we're going to get our double block we just made. We're going to get our wings, and we're going to find the middle, and it's not so difficult because it's 4 blocks, so it's very easy to glue them on top of here. So just do some glue, and I do it on the, not on the wider side, but on the double side where you find them close to each other. And we're going to place this in the middle, and we do here the same, some glue in the middle, and we place this one also in the middle of the wing. Squeeze it, and we do it, of course, on the place you need to have it, this way. And we're going to let this rest also, and if you look very carefully, then you have this piece. So now we're going to get our 3 blocks. We just did some glue. Of course, we on the ending, on the top of the airplane, you also have a kind of a little wing. So I'm going to try to make just that kind of a wing, and I'm going to place it down over here. And I hope I have the wing I want to have, because I have to look for, I think I'm going to go for this kind of a wing. I hope you can see it this way. So I'm going to get my jigsaw and I'm going to saw it out. So I made the lines a little bit bigger so you can see it a little bit better, like this. And of course, also this kind of wing, you can give your own twist on it, what is fitting for your decor. But I'm just going to give you a simple inspiration so you can go as crazy as you like. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to saw this out. So, and this is how the back wing turned out. I just did, like you saw, 3 blocks and just made a little bow and then go totally to the side. Of course, I need to sand it a little bit before we can paint it and glue it together. But what we're going to do, we need, of course, on the back side, we need to close up the airplane. So of course, we are going to do 3 blocks, do some glue, and this one with some glue. And this is already the back side. Of course, squeeze it, make sure that you have a nice straight line again, wipe away the glue, and then we are almost there. The only thing what we still need to do is, of course, our stand, and we are going to need to cut off sideways a little piece. So I'm going to go, I think, for over here, and from this point until a little bit like 2/3 of the top block. So I think maybe over here and over here, make a nice line. So I show you in a moment what I mean. So see, this is what I mean. I have one on this side and I have one on this side. And now I'm going to get my jigsaw and I'm going to try to cut it totally in half, but at least the two, and so we get a nice shape like this, so the airplane can stand a little side on his feet. So, and you see, this is what I mean. I just did it sideways. If you can, it is very hard. I'm not going to tell you that it is easy to go with the jigsaw through here, because sometimes the saws you use are a little bit short. So it was a little bit of sanding and it was also a little bit of sawing. So it was a little bit from both ways. So take your time for it. Don't let it discourage you, because it is to do, but it takes a little bit of your time. Of course, we're going to place this apart because we're going to glue first our plane together. Now we're going to get our middle frame. Of course, we're going to get our 3 blocks. We place this aside. We could do some glue in the middle, which you want to use as the back side. Of course, do some glue over here and place your little square on top of here. Give it a little bit of pressure. Make sure that you have it in the middle, and then we're going to let this dry in. So you see, we have now the back side over here. You are going to lay it down on your table the way you want to have it. What is the top side? For me, this is above. Of course, then I'm going to turn it full completely on his top. So this, the underside is now my top. This is, of course, the bottom of our plane. What I'm going to do, I'm going to lay 3 blocks over here. I will lay mine in this is an easy way to glue it, because or else your wings will be falling down And I'm going to do 3 blocks on this side. So a little bit off the plane like this. And if we're going to do now, we have to look for that we have the right way, because here is your back side and the side, how you call it, being a diagonal side is over here. So it has to be in comparison with the back side. If you have it this way or maybe on this side, it's wrong, because then you have it on the opening. So be sure, look carefully. You have to lay the diagonal side on your ending. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it some glue, very easy, over here and in the middle over here. And we're going to place it down and we're going to glue it, I think maybe over here. This is already one. Now we're going to do with this one the same. We do some glue. And because you build a little bit of a riser, he is glued the same on this side. So again, lay some blocks over here as a riser. And now you have both of them glued on the same line. So again, make sure that you watch and squeeze it together, and we're going to give it at least an hour rest to make it ourselves easy. And we take the time also because this needs to rest already for at least an hour, maybe even what more. We are going to glue immediately our frame already on top of here, so it can dry immediately in the same time. You can also use a little bit of hot glue together with the wood glue, so it sticks already immediately on top of each other. Most of the time I always keep it in place for a little moment, so I'm going to do some in the middle over here. Be sure that you glue it on the right way, because you don't want your plane later is on the wrong way. So we are going to place it over here like this, and I'm going to give it a couple of minutes to rest in, and I keep it in place this way. But you can place the stand anywhere you like. So this needs a couple of hours drying. What we're going to do, I'm going to make extra one piece of 3 blocks, because I think I'm going to need it to give it on the front with the propeller a little bit more body. So I'm going to make already an extra piece of 3. And you will see in a moment if you need it or not, because if I don't use it, you can also do it without. So we are going to at least already glue it, and I have it already on hand if I need it. So I did let it dry at least for an hour, but it doesn't mean that he is still already attached, because wood glue takes a long time to dry. Most of the time it's better overnight. So if you have the time, do it overnight. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do some glue on the stand over here on the inside, of course, because we're going to glue it on top of here. And we're going to do some glue around the inside, the same like we did on the other side. And we're going to go carefully place it aside, and we're going to place it in the middle of our stand this way. Give it a little bit of pressure. Now it looks very strange because you still can't see a little bit how it turned out. It's only a little bit you still can see. So we're going to let this dry also a couple of hours. Of course, he needs to dry, but we have our little piece of wing. We are going to do some glue on the underside over here, just this way. And we're going to place this one also on top of here in the middle, this way. Give it a little bit of pressure. And we're going to keep it in place for a little moment. You also, like I told you, you can do it with some hot glue. You don't have some hot glue. You don't have to wait like I do. You can do it a little bit faster. But I like that everything stays very nicely on top of each other. So this way. Now we also have our wing on top. We have our extra block of 3. We are going to get our propeller and we're going to glue this, but in the opposite direction. This one is in the length. And we're going to do this one in the white. So just do some glue over here and place it on top of here. And again, give it a little bit of pressure. And make sure that you have it in the exactly on top of each other. And give this also a couple of minutes drying. So and the next step will be that we do the propeller on top of here, of course. You can also do some greenery inside, and you have your own planter. Of course, I don't do that, but if you like it, you can do some flowers inside. What I'm going to do some glue on the inside, of course, also from this part. I show it to you in a moment. I will turn it around. I'm going to do some glue. And again, we do it on the inside of the square over here and around here and around here. And also with this part, you can use some, together with the wood glue, you can use some hot glue. I don't do it, but you can do it, of course. And then we're going to place it on top. Look where you want to have your propellers. I'm still debating where I want to have them because I still don't know. And of course, already my wood glue is already running out. So I have to decide very quickly what I want. So I'm going to go, I think, for this one. So I'm going to place it over here. And I keep it in place for a little moment because it sticks very fast. So you see, the fantasy plane is almost ready, but I'm not satisfied on the flat side on top. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get 6 blocks and I'm going to do 2 and 2 together, like this, just the tops. Of course, I'm going to look for if this is nice or not. And if you don't like it, you don't have to do it because you can see in my DIY if you like it or not. And then you can still leave it out or maybe do something else with it. So I'm just going to wipe away the glue, give it a couple of minutes rest. And then we're going to glue it on top. We gave it a couple of minutes. We're going to place this one straight up. We are going to do some glue on this side. And of course on this side. Place it down and place this one down and squeeze them against each other this way. Make sure that you have a nice flat side over here and we're going to squeeze it and we're going to give this also a couple of minutes rest and then we're going to cut off a little piece of the ending. So I did saw a little piece of at the ending and of course I need to sand it a little bit, but I'm going to glue it on top in the middle on front of the wings, and I think for me he is finished then. So I'm going to paint it in one color, so you see that in a moment. So for my paint I chose the creamy color. You see here I use this a lot, but of course I also look very nice if you spray paint it maybe in the gold or the silver. So you can go maybe brown, you can choose any color you like. I like a little bit more like the creamy white color, so I'm going to give it a nice creamy look. So I'm going to start on the top and we will see how this will turn it. And I do it totally in this creamer, but you can do maybe some the propeller maybe in another color. You can do maybe the middle piece in another color. Do whatever you think it's right. This is just an inspiration for you. You don't have to do it the way I do it. So I take my time and I'm going to paint everything. And you see already how much he is changed with only a little bit of paint. And you can decorate it, like I told you, the way you want to do it. This is just a simple inspiration and just a base how you can build it. Of course, there are things I would have done differently the next time, but for a first try, I think it turned out very nice. Of course, you see in a moment a quick impression. And here you see finally a quick impression of my tumbling tile blocks plane. And of course, this was an experiment. I never made a plane before. I think for the first time it turned out very nice. Of course, the second time I would make the base of the plane a little bit longer, but of course you can change them up any way you like. Of course, I hope you took out your tumbling tile blocks too and did this DIY together with me. Of course, everyone who is here to watch, I hope you had fun watching. And if you're new here, I hope you enjoy what you see. And if you do, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and of course click the bell so you will be notified every time I upload new DIYs. For more DIYs, come on over to my description box. There you find the link for our DIY channels. So enough talking. I wish you all an amazing day and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.